Hey everyone, welcome in. Let's get started. Give me a second to copy and paste a few things. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in everybody. My name is Josh. It's the Gaming Enjoy channel. And we're going to be doing some modding and answering a question. This one's for Brian. Farmer Brian, if you're here or if you're watching the replay, this question is for you. Farmer Brian asked, how do I make a placeable out of something that's from the game? I don't want to use it for what it is. I want to use it for myself. How do I do it? And let's kind of like look at that and figure out how to do that. Like, what are we even talking about? So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to be using GE today. We're going to be using our code editor, and we're going to be looking into the rest of the game. And I don't want to necessarily teach you, hey, do this, do this, do this. Let's think about it and solve it as we go. Sound good? Let's get into it. All right, so we're looking at code, and we have the game coming up. Boom. We're not doing any specific save game, so I'm just gonna come in here and empty slot, Riverbend Springs, whatever. Don't care. Deselect all. I don't really want any mods. Start. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at in the game at the map, and we're gonna come up with an idea. I have a general idea. I have an idea, but if you guys have any other suggestions about like what we can make into a placeable, let me know. But the idea is from the actual map or from any map, doesn't have to be a base game map, it can be any map, it can be a modded map. How do you take something from a map and then pull it out of that map and put it into another map? Or pull it into a mod so you can put it into another map. That's kind of what we're talking about. So we're here on Hutan. No, we're here on Riverbend Springs. Hey, old guy. Whatever. And I'm gonna come over here to this. This is what I wanna do today. This is my idea. Right? Is we have this is our wardrobe trigger, right? Come in here, wardrobe, cool. There's a laundry basket right next to the wardrobe trigger, and it's not a pickup. I can't pick it up. I can't move it. But if I'm playing like a survival series on like, I don't know, like New Frontier or something, and I just want a sleep trigger, I'm sorry, a wardrobe trigger. How do I make that? Let's do that today. So what we're going to do, and this was in the thumbnail, is we're going to take this little thing right here, and we're going to turn it into a placeable wardrobe trigger. I don't know if it's possible. I've never done it before, but I want to. So we're going to try to figure that out. You guys ready? All right. So this is what we're going to do. We need this piece, the wardrobe trigger piece, and we need the object. Let's go get the object first. Okay, so we don't need the game anymore. The game's going to be... We'll come back in the game when we're ready, and we're done. All right, so I've created a folder here in our live modding directory. I have a mod desk that has pretty much nothing in it. If we've talked about how to create your own mod desk before, we're not going to do it again now, but no, that's what we need. Camera's all messed up. All right. We talked about this before. We're not going to talk about it again today, but essentially we have a very blank mod desk. There's nothing in the... Oh, there is something in there. I lied. Let's delete that. That's from the one I copied it from. We have an ID3 folder for our ID3s. And we're going to go from there. So let's open the map. So where's the map? Where is Riverbend Springs? We're going to go into our data directory. If you don't know how to find that, we've talked about that in earlier videos, but it's essentially at this path. Steam Maps, Common, Farming Simulator Data. It might be something somewhere else on your computer. On the Mac, it's totally different too. Whatever. You just find your data directory. That's where we're starting from. I'm going to go into Maps. Map US. So obviously we're going to the US map because that's what we want. And then we're going to open Map US. That's pretty simple. We're going to open it in Giants Editor 10.0.3, which is the latest version. I find it funny that Giants uses Semver, which is the 10.0.3 versioning, for their own stuff, but for mods, they made up this other versioning system that doesn't match anything else in the community. I don't get that. Here we go. This is Riverbend Springs as a map. If you look at it and you open this map, this is what it looks like. Now, don't hit save. So one thing, if you're ever looking at the map, don't ever come in the map, do something, and then hit save. I'm an engineer at heart, so I just hit save for fun all the time. And I have done that before where I've totally borked my base game map because I hit save by accident. But let's come in here. Let's go over to the house. Let's dig in. All right, so we have our house. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, we have our... Oh, that would actually be kind of a fun placeable. Having like this laundry thing. Anyways, maybe we'll do that next. I want this. So I'm gonna click on it. Oh, when I click on it, it doesn't actually click on the thing I want. Well, why not? Let's look at it. So farmhouse place. This is the farmhouse. It's like the collection of the farmhouse plus all its props. So let's dig into it. I'm gonna go into, just dig into the levels and then props. This laundry basket's a prop. Now if I click on the props, this is now, oh, look, that's selectable. Now if I click on it, now I can select it. So sometimes you have to dig into the props of something when you're looking at a base game map. They like to have things collected together into groups so that you can move the whole group as one instead of moving individual pieces. And so in many places, you'll see this format of name underscore place, and then underscore stays is something they added new, which is basically saying this stays. It doesn't get removed from the map, which I think is dumb, but beside the point. That has to do with the NPCs, and they haven't figured that stuff out to deal with it moving. Whatever, I won't fix it for them. What we want is this laundry basket. Now, if we look at the laundry basket itself, see how there's an LOD here? There's LODs, but if I look at the garbage can, or I look at the clothesline, there's multiple other things inside this group, and sometimes what you want is inside of a group and not outside of a group, right? And that's just how these things are built. But what you want to be able to get is the level in which you have LODs and collisions at the next level down from what you want. So what I want is I want this laundry basket. How do I get that laundry basket? I'm going to say File, Export Selection. Now, you don't want to do Export Selection with files. The reason is, if you do Export Selection with files, it's going to get all of like the textures and stuff like that. You don't want the textures because they already exist in the base game. If you're doing it from another map, you might want to actually export with files because you want those textures to come with it. Because if you're taking something from one map and putting it on another map, you want the texture files to come with it. But when we're working with base game stuff, you don't need to do that. So all we're going to do is do export selection. Hey, Wesky, thanks for coming in. And I'm sorry you can't stay long, but you'll be able to watch the replay, which is, I leave all of these up because they can be good learning experiences. So then we're going to export it and we're going to go back to our directory. Here, I think it is placeable decoration ID3. And this is called laundry basket. 03.i3d. Now, since I can't leave well enough alone, this says laundry basket 03. That means there's 2 more laundry baskets somewhere, at least. So what if I search for laundry basket? What? Oh, laundry. Oh, look, there's a bunch of other ones. So I'm going to export the other ones too, just for fun. And I'll explain why in a minute. So export selection. I don't even want to know what this looks like, but I'm going to export the other ones also. Laundry basket 2. Laundry basket 1. I don't even know what these look like, but we'll find out later. Is there a 4? Nope. Looks like they just use 1, 2, and 3. That's 3 laundry baskets. Wow. We just hit the jackpot. Cool. Now we're going to exit out of the map. We're going to say, do you want to save? No. Do not save. Because if you're saving changes to your base game map, the one that's on your computer, which means your base game map will be different than other players' base game map, which means multiplayer won't work, or you'll have problems. So don't ever make changes to the base game map and save it. If you want to save it as something else. We talked about that last week. So now what do we have? We have, come in here to YouTube, live modding, placeable decoration, i3D. We have 3 laundry baskets, right? If I open up one of them, I think the one we were looking at was laundry basket 3. If I open up just that, what do we have? We'll look at it. So if we look at laundry basket 03, it's right here. Now, first of all, it's not on the center. I don't like that. Whenever you have something that's going to be a placeable, you want it to be dead center. You don't want it to be off to the side. You want it to be dead center. You want it to rotate on the center point. So the first thing I'm going to do is over here in the attributes panel, where I have the laundry basket selected, I'm going to reset it all. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right? Done. Which means that now this, if we look at our grid, and if you can't see your grid, you can just do right click, show grid, I think. Yeah, or grid right here. So that's the grid. If you don't see the grid, I prefer to have the grid so I know where the origin is. So I always turn my grid on. So now it's in the center. It's perfect. Good. Now I'm going to hit save because I made changes to this local positioning and I want to make sure those are saved. And let's open up the other laundry baskets, see what they look like. I don't know what they look like. They could be gross. They could be dirty laundry. Ugh. Cool. This one is like one of those wire mesh baskets. Again, it's not centered. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And now it's centered. Save. Laundry basket 2. Let's look at laundry basket 1. And this one looks like a rounded one. Cool. Another laundry basket. So click on it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Done. Okay. Now, if we look at these laundry baskets, all they have is an LOD and a collision. Now, in most cases, that's what the game considers to be the visual. The visual is only one part of a placeable. But what are the other parts? How do you figure that out? How do you figure out what you need to know to be able to do what you need to know? How do you figure that out? Well, the simplest answer is to copy something that exists in the base game. We're going to do that next. So if we go back to our base game folders, data, placeables, I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just going to guess. Brandless. Brandless means there's no brand, obviously. Let's look for something that's simple. Decoration. Benches. A bench seems really simple, right? I'm going to open this file. Bench.08. What is this? Simple placeable. See that? It's a simple placeable. And you need a bunch of other stuff too. You need the file name, which is the bench. You need a test area. You need clear areas, leveling, indoor areas, tip occlusion areas. This seems like a lot, but we don't have any of that. Okay. Well, let's copy this file first. Let's go over to our live modding directory. And let's place. We're going to rename this as laundry basket. All right. So now we have our own XML file. It's still referring to the bench stuff, but we'll fix that later. And then we should also look at, in that same folder, what does bench have? Let's look at another example, simple placeable, and see what it has, and then we'll copy what it has, because this is a simple thing. That's kind of the same thing we're doing. We're just going to see what they have. It might be important. So what does the bench have? It looks like a bench, right? Well, that's a bench that I don't have. Sweet. I'll have to remember that for my other mod. Let's look. Bench.01. Now, if you notice, if we dig in, and you notice, this bench has some other stuff here. If we compare that with what we had, it's different because it has test areas, it has tip occlusion update areas, it has a visual, the visual, and then the visual has the LOD. So this is structured differently than what we had. So let's just use this as an example. So save as, and then we're going to call this laundry basket.i3d. Now I have 4 files. I don't want all 4 files. We're going to end up getting all 4 files and merge them into one, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first of all, we're going to do laundry basket this. Now this is our file. We're going to rename this right here. You just double click on it to rename it. It doesn't matter if you rename it, to be clear. We don't want the bench, so I'm going to just delete the bench itself because I don't care about the bench. I don't want the bench's collision, so I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to import the laundry basket we started with, which is 3. Then we're going to come over here, and we're just going to move it into the visual. And I'm just going to call it just visual, not visual LOD. Doesn't matter what it's called, but for me, I don't care about the LOD thing. That's kind of obvious because it has LODs inside. Perfect. So now we have, we have everything we need, essentially. Now let's fix it. So we're going to save. We're going to go into our file. This is our file. And then we're going to clean up this file a little bit. We're going to call it laundry basket. Super. It is a decoration, sort of. It's going to need its own image. So we're going to call this store laundry basket. This image doesn't exist yet, but that's okay. We'll create one. Price, how much do we want it to cost? 50 bucks? Nah, laundry basket's cheap. 10 bucks. Decoration, placeable decoration, yada, yada, yada. Okay, perfect. All of this stuff you don't need. This is stuff that's automatically generated by Giants in the way they build stuff. It's not needed at all. You can delete all of it. And then the file name here, scroll down slowly. We'll just walk through it. Okay, what does each thing mean? Store data. This is the data that tells it what to show up like in the store. And we're changing little things like the image is the thumbnail. Price is how much it costs. Daily upkeep is how much it costs each day. The default rotation is 0. Brand, none. Blah, 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 blah. Can it be sold? Yes. Can it show in store? Yes. Well, both of those set to true. Those are very important. The next thing we're going to do is going to come over here. We're going to change this to i3d. This file name refers to the file name that we want to show up. So we just created laundrybasket.i3d. Not these other ones, because these ones will go away eventually, but we want laundry basket, because that one is the one that has our test areas. So laundrybasket.i3d. And then we're not going to touch anything else, because this file still has all the things that link to the other file that we're copying it from. So if we look at test area start 01, test area end 01, no, what are these? These are our test areas. And they refer to a node. So the node is 0, 0, 0. If we look, we have test areas. Oh, cool. Test areas. Test area start 01, test area end 01. But look, if we look at these test areas, the test area basically says, okay, when I'm placing this, make sure there's nothing else that exists in this same location, because you can't place something on top of something else. The reason the test areas are there is to define the area in which your object exists, so that when you place it, you won't be overlapping something else. So if we leave the test area alone, so if I take this test area right here, and I make the test area like this, right? I basically am making a box. It doesn't really show it up very well, but I'm making a box from here to here. And if I tried to place this, I couldn't place anything around it. When I put it in the game, it would say conflicts. It would say, obstructed or whatever. Can't place here. Unable to place, obstructed or whatever. I forget what the error message is. But we don't want that. We want to be able to put this like in the smallest space possible. So let's update the test area to be very, very small. So negative 0.5. Yeah, that's good. And then this should be 0.5. Sure. 0.5. And then this is 0.5. 0.5. And this should be 0.5. Okay, what did I just do? Josh, what are you doing? I don't get it. That's too fast. You're going too fast. Fine. So if we look at it in space, I'm creating a point just outside the laundry basket. We could actually make it closer if we wanted to. It's this. I'm creating a box in 3-dimensional space with 2 points. The first point is the one corner, and then if you think of like a box, I don't have it. If you think of a do I have anything good as an example? I don't. If you think of a box-shaped object like this, if I wanted to find the shape of this box, if I go from this corner right here to this corner, right, you get this kind of diagonal across the box. 2 points. Where's the camera? That you can actually get the entire size of that box just from those 2 points. And so this is the first point, and then if I go to the second point, because it's inside the first point, the second point is relative to the first point. So I actually want this to be should be 1 and 1. So if I want basically we're creating a box that is 1 wide, 1 long, and 0.5 tall. So it's kind of a horizontal box, and that's kind of too big. So actually let's make it even smaller. 0.5, 0.5, and then we'll come to the start. We're going to do 0.25, get it even closer, because I want to be able to put this in tight spaces. And so now we've made a box that's essentially the size of the laundry basket. That's good. And then the tip occlusion update area is essentially the same thing. It just mainly prevents you from tipping in that area. And so we can just copy that. So we're just going to come here. I'm going to click once on the top one. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-C. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to type Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V to paste. And it pastes all 3 numbers. Here, Control-Shift-C to copy. And then come down here, Control-Shift-V to paste. And basically it sets both the test area and the tip occlusion area as pretty much the same. And then we're done. Now we need one more thing. Now we've created a laundry basket. Now the laundry basket, we can place it in the game. So let's go into the game and actually show you actually placing this down just for the sake of placing it down. First, we're going to generate an icon. So we're just going to come in here to the icon generator. We're going to select our folder, YouTube, live modding. Okay, we didn't do that yet. It doesn't like it. It doesn't want to show it to us because we haven't told the mod desk where our laundry basket is. So we have to actually put laundry basket. By the way, can someone actually confirm this? Is laundry spelled L-A-U-N-D-R-Y or L-A-U-N-D-E-R-Y? I don't know. I always spell it this way. Maybe there's like a German to English thing going on there. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to call it that, and I don't care. We come back here, and now that we've updated this, we can actually select the folder again, and now it's going to show up our decoration in here. The mod desk has to be working, has to be correct for it to show up here. And then if I click generate, it's going to generate an icon for me. I don't ever have to think about what that looks like. It takes what's in the model and generates an icon. Right? And then if I go here to mod icon, click generate. What it's doing is it's opening up your model in a temporary instance of GE, setting a bunch of settings, saving an image, and then compressing that image. So if we look at the images that it just generated, we have this one, and we have this one, which is not a very good icon. I actually want that to be tilted slightly. We can worry about that later. For right now, that's good enough. When it generates those images, it generates a PNG and a GIM file. Neither of those, you don't need either of them. You can just delete them. The PNG you can look at, DDS ones you can't. So I always like to confirm that it looks right and then move on. And then we're going to do one more thing. I forgot to do this before the stream, which is kind of silly of me. Let's pick my live modding folder. Now we can actually show what the right mods. We could call it Stinky Closed, Bruce. Easily. Welcome in, Bruce. Thanks for being here. And Ken, I see that you're here. Welcome in. Your shed needs to grow also. Oh, because it's not tall enough. That 12MT is pretty tall. But when I used to use the 12MT back in the day, I would always unfold it, leave it the long way, and then drop it down to the ground. I would never drop it down to the ground with it sticking up in the air because it would always tip over. Hated that. So career, we're going to go new career, whatever, it doesn't matter. Continue. And now we're here in this folder. Now what's going on? Our icon's not showing up. Why is the icon not showing up? Well, we generated an icon underscore laundry basket, but we're still pointing to the blank one. So let's change that. Laundry basket. Unfortunately, that means we have to exit out of the game and go back in because we changed something. How is everyone doing today? You know, the good thing about the game taking a while to load is that I get the chance to talk to you guys without having to focus on what I'm doing. So stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's my computer. I don't know if it's the game. Like, hello? There we go. It takes forever. Okay. Start farm? Yes, sure, why not? 100 grand is fine. Continue. Now we have our icon. See how it says placeable decorations? Sweet, right? We'll even pick our Registrack. Start. Nice. Use 2 laundry baskets? Well, we're going to make more than one. and I'll show you guys how. It's actually pretty easy. Pretty easy. Start. All right, whatever. So now if we go into our menu, go in here, construction, decoration, not fences, others. Which one do we copy? We copied decoration. So it's going to be the bottom of this menu, I think. Here it is. Here's our laundry basket. Now if we look, we have a laundry basket that we can place down for 10 bucks. Sweet. Step 1 complete. So we're going to put down our laundry basket. And now if we walk up to it, it doesn't move. It stays still. I can step over it. See, I'm kind of going up slightly. I'm stepping over it. We go into third person view. I can stand on it. Super. Right? It's just a laundry basket. So it has collisions. I can't walk through it. I step up on top of it. So step 1 is done. We got it into the game. Perfect. Laundry basket. Save. All right, good. Now, let's go back out of the game. Now the problem is we want our laundry basket to be a clothing trigger. How do we do that? I don't know. What do you guys think? Where are we going to find a clothing trigger? Does anyone have any ideas? Someone give me an idea, because I don't know where to find a clothing trigger. Just kidding, I actually do, but where do you guys think a clothing trigger is going to be? If I had to copy a clothing trigger from Giants, where am I going to find it? Well, obviously in a farmhouse of some kind. Okay, well, how does that happen? I don't know. Let's look it up. Yada yada. Farmhouses. Farmer kiosk. That's not what I want. What's it called? Placeables, map US, farmhouse 01. That sounds good. Attached to a home. Yeah, it's going to be part of a farmhouse. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's look. I'm going to open farmhouse 01. I don't even know what farmhouse 01 looks like, but we're going to find out in half a second. Farmhouse 01 is this big white house. Great. And then if I come into here and look at this, see a farmhouse as a placeable has a bunch of stuff here. But there is something here that makes sense to me. Wardrobe. Where's wardrobe? Looks like the wardrobe is right here at the back door, because for some reason Giants loves making people change their clothes at the back door. What does the wardrobe include? It includes a trigger marker and a trigger. Cool. I'm going to click on the parent thing that says wardrobe. I'm going to say export selection. I'm not going to try to recreate this stuff. Wardrobe.com.i3d. Wardrobe. Done. Save. Now I have a wardrobe trigger. No, don't save changes to the base game stuff. Now we have our, this is ours. Now we go file, import, wardrobe. So I just stole it from a base game house and now I put it here. I'm going to drag it into our file tree. Whenever you import, you have to move it into the tree, and you want to move it to the end of the tree, not the beginning of the tree. Sometimes it's easier to move it to just before the end and then move whatever you put at the end in the middle. Putting something at the very end of the tree is sometimes kind of hard. But now we have a wardrobe, but it's way over here in space, not right here on top of it. So how do we move it? So the wardrobe itself, if we look, is 0, 0, 0, 0. That's good. We want it to be zeroed. We come up here to the wardrobe trigger marker. This has a position. Let's reset that position. 0, 0, 0. Good. Now it's reset. Wardrobe trigger. This is the box you walk in to get the trigger, which gives you the little thing where you can click R to sing. So the size of this trigger matters. And if you look at it, the way Giants has it now, they have these cool yellow boxes that kind of tells you how big it is. That's about big enough for me. I don't need it to be any bigger. So I'm just going to say, yes, good. Save. Now, what was the other part of that, the farmhouse? Okay, so if it has a wardrobe trigger in the model, there's got to be something in the code the XML that tells it to activate that trigger and make that trigger do wardrobe stuff. So let's go open Farmhouse.01 and look. I don't know. That's fine. Wardrobe. 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 It looks like I need a trigger marker. Cool. Excuse me. I need a trigger marker. I don't need a sleep trigger. I just need a trigger marker. So we need the wardrobe trigger marker. Wardrobe icon wardrobe.i3d. Perfect. And then what else do we need? What else is in the farmhouse that I need? The word wardrobe. I'm just searching for the word wardrobe. Wardrobe trigger. Oh, it's just this one line that says wardrobe trigger. Cool. So then we're going to do that. That wardrobe trigger. Go back to the farmhouse, search for more things called wardrobe. And oh, look, it has little nodes on here. So I'm going to copy these nodes because the names match because that's where I got it from. Come over here, go to my i3D mappings. I'm going to paste that in, but now these numbers are wrong. Like this 080 is not the same as this, which is 030. So the wardrobe trigger marker is 030. So I come over here, I click copy, come over here, paste. So wardrobe trigger marker, 1-to-1. Copy this index path here, paste it here, and then the wardrobe trigger itself, 03031. I'm gonna come over here, paste, and now save. 2, and then hopefully this works. Now sometimes I've been having problems with the game caching folders that I'm live editing. We may need to build this and test it in a different way, and if that happens, I'm sorry, but we'll figure it out. I'll show you how I do it, but how you do it could be totally different. Awesome. Welcome in to Always Involved. Thank you very much for being here, for being one of my AI members. I'm missing a couple vowels from the name of my site, so it should be Gaming Joy, and I totally missed the A and the I. So thanks for coming in and joining and standing in for my AI. I don't actually like AI. I don't know why I did that. Laundry basket. Now it says version 02, so it is getting the latest version, hopefully. We want to make sure that keeps happening. So always make sure you're checking the latest version and that you're updating the latest version each time you make a change. It is a little bit of extra work, but it is worthwhile. That would be cool, Ken. Maybe a changing chamber? Yeah, totally. You could use a Star Trek teleporter like animation if you could make that. That would be cool. You could use a telephone booth, like a telephone booth, like Superman. Right? That would be cool. So now we have our placeable that we placed before. It doesn't seem to have anything on it. Let's try again. Let's see if we can place it again if it changes, because we did update it. So where was it again? It's here in decoration. Okay, no. So now something's wrong. What's wrong? What's wrong? Why is it not working? It says missing a trigger node. See, I'm getting errors and it popped up my error. It's missing the trigger node. Why is that happening? Well, the reason is I made changes here, but I didn't save it. If we look in our console, the last time we saved it was at 9:33, and so we haven't saved it since we made this change. So we come in here and hit save. Now save 9:48, and then come in here, and then, whoops, I didn't want to actually get in the vehicle. That's kind of silly. We're not talking about vehicles today. We're talking about wardrobe triggers. All right, where is it? It's right here. So we're going to come in here and do GS store items reload. And then GS, what's it called? There's something else for loading new models. GS No. I3D. I3D cache clean. Sure. True. Still not working. Let's go in the store. Construction. Oh, now, so the old one is already placed. It hasn't, and see how I can't place it on top of it on the side? But I can place it a little bit far away, and that's because of the test area. See how I can't place one on top of the other? So now, let's place another one. And then let's come here and sell that one, because that one doesn't work anymore. So now we have a sleep trigger. Look at this. We have a wardrobe trigger. Right? Cool, huh? And then I come in here, and you can see if we look with this menu, okay, you see this menu, this is your debug mode for physics. Do you see how there's a square box around the wardrobe trigger? And if I come in here, and if I'm inside that box, I'm not completely inside the box because the box is too low. Well, that's because somehow we copy and paste it. That's kind of silly. It's too low, so let's raise it up. Yoink. And to make sure it's above the ground or just below, I like to have it, the edge of it just below the ground. Yoink. Like that. Save. Come in here. I3D cache clean and store items reload. And then we'll turn off our physics thing. Go into our placeable menu, construction. Sell that one. We'll place it down again. We look at our physics again. Now the box is taller because we just fixed it. And if I, whoops, turn off the physics thing. And we come in here and we go R. Switch hand tool. It's not letting me do a wardrobe trigger. Why not? I know why, but it's not. So we're getting close, but we're not successful yet. Does anyone have an idea why? So the reason why is wardrobe triggers are part of houses. And all we're placing down is a simple placeable. We're not placing down a house, we're placing a simple placeable. We need what we're placing down to be kind of like a house because it has to have the wardrobe trigger. So this right here, the wardrobe, is called a specialization. And so there's a bunch of stuff that simple placeable can do. But one of those things isn't wardrobe trigger. I didn't know that, but I'm assuming this is how it works. So I'm going to come over here to farmhouse. Oh, the switch is there. And see how farmhouse has this placeable type farmhouse. What we're going to have to do is actually turn our simple placeable into farmhouse. How do we do that? Two things. One, type farmhouse. That's pretty easy. Go to the top. It's now a farmhouse instead of a thing, right? And then we're going to come down here and we're going to move it. We're going to move it from the decoration category into the farmhouses category. No. Love the song. So now we're going to move it into the farmhouses category, which is just moving where it is in the store. It doesn't really matter where it is in the store, but we're going to put it in the farmhouses because it is a farmhouse. And then we're gonna change from laundry basket to laundry basket wardrobe. Laundry basket wardrobe. And then since we've changed it, we're gonna bump the version 3, and then that should be all we need. We're gonna go into, oh my goodness, David, thank you for gifting memberships. That's super awesome. And we got a bunch of people who are hiding in the backgrounds. So we got Jamaica Burns, Ramesses, Artemis, all got memberships. Tennessee Farmer got a membership, and Ken Stater got a membership. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome all to the AI something. Welcome to the AI group. Thank you very much, David, for hashtag for David for giving those memberships. And I believe, because I've only been doing this for a very short amount of time, David, you're the first person to give more than one membership. Ronnie has given a couple memberships over time, but you're the first person to give that 5-pack, so thank you very much. So I'm going to load back in the game, Placeable Decorations version 003. We know that's a new version because I just changed it. And we're going to start, jump into the game, and make sure it works as a wardrobe trigger. And then we're going to make it cooler in a really, really weird way. Okay. Load. Where is it? Should be right here. Sweet. So now it's there. And if I come in here and I hit R, wardrobe trigger. What? I win. So we have now a placeable wardrobe trigger that we can place just about anywhere. So not only do we make a simple placeable, something just to place down, a decoration of a laundry basket for who knows what. I'm sure Rusty would like something like that. But we also made it into a wardrobe trigger. So now I can actually go into my wardrobe menu from this placeable. I can place it anywhere I want, and I have my own wardrobe trigger. That's fantastic. So the only thing that I think would make this better is the last thing you're thinking of. Ta-da! Exactly. The only thing that would make this wardrobe trigger better is solar panels. What do you think? Should we let it have? Should we make our wardrobe trigger have solar panels? Yes. And there is a reason, and I'll show you right now. So, if we look at the base game, and I search for solar panel here. So this cow barn has solar panel configurations. I'm going to take this little block here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it here. Solar panels is one of the few configuration objects, one of the only ones that I know of. I think they just added a new one recently, something about water planes or something. But solar panels is the only configuration that you can do to a placeable to make it look different and add solar panels. But you can actually use it and leverage it to do other things. Magic things. Because if you look, what do we have here? We have a configuration. We have an option that the user chooses. And then we have an object change. And an object change can change the visibility of something else. Okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to make all 3 laundry baskets in one placeable. Because I'm amazing and I already know how to do it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. It's super, super easy. So remember we came in here and we put the visual laundry basket. We didn't move laundry basket up to the visual. We put it inside the visual. The reason is I'm going to import the other 2 laundry baskets. Laundry basket 01. Import laundry basket 02. Now, if you remember, when we imported these, we already reset them to 0, 0. Now all 3 are there. But if I hide this one and I hide this one, now we have that one. So think about what I just did. What did I just do? If I want to show laundry basket 01, I hide laundry basket 2 and 3, and I show 1. Okay, just think about it that way. I'm hiding the other 2 and showing the one we want. So if the default for our laundry basket, because it's the icon, is laundry basket 03. So we're going to make that one visible. We're going to say yes. Now, if we look at the nodes here, we need the nodes. So come over here. I'm going to create a couple i3D mappings. And I can just type them. It's fine. i3D mapping id equals lawn. I don't like typing the word longer. Basket 01 node equals that, which I just copied. So basically, basket 01 is going to be a pointer. It's basically a link to this node in the node tree. And if we go back to our node tree, laundry basket 01 0021, that's our node. That's how we link those 2 things together. Now you notice also that this one's called laundry basket 01 with an E. Like, come on, Giants, learn how to spell. And I'm going to call it basket 01 because that just seems more logical to me. Welcome in, Travis. Thank you. I'm glad you recently found the channel. And hope you really enjoyed the live stream. I'm trying to teach people not only how to do stuff, but how to learn how to do stuff. Because this is how I learn. And I'm just going to teach you how I learned because that seems easy. And then because I know the way these are structured, basket of 1, 2, 3, basket 1, 2, 3. The first one is 0, 2, 0. The second one is 0, 2, 1. The third one is 0, 2, 2. So all I have to do is make sure that's related here. And then I'm going to get rid of this one, so I don't need it. And I'm going to create 3 configurations. 1, 2, 3. This one is going to be basket 1. This one, basket 2. This one, basket 3. The last one is active equals true. So the third one, I want it to be true because that's the default one, right? So they're all set false, false, true. And then we want this visibility active to be true, true, true. Now, what does this mean? Basically, it's saying when I pick configuration 1, right? This is active. It's kind of annoying. You don't need that at all. You should actually say is default true. What it's saying is basically when you pick basket 1, make basket 01. I didn't finish my work. When you pick basket 1 in the menu, make basket 1 visible. So when you pick it, that means it's active. The visibility of basket 1 should be active. Otherwise, it should be not active. So if nothing is active to begin with, if we come down here and we turn this off and hit save, now the model looks like it has nothing in it. That's fine. What we're saying here, as you pick it, it's going to choose which one you want. I'm saying this one should be default to be true. So it starts with basket 3, which means it's going to turn on basket 3. So by default, when we try to place it, it's going to show basket 3. But we can change it to basket 1 or 2 inside the game with one placeable. We only have one trigger. We don't have to have multiple triggers. We don't have to have multiple files. We don't have to have multiple placeables. One placeable, multiple looks. And so we do that. We hit save. We go to our mod desk. We bump our mod desk up. Now, I have scripts to do this for me to do it faster than that, so I don't have to think about it, but you guys don't, so I'm showing you how I do it. And then we wait. What I've found, actually, is FarmSim has a memory leak. So there's a memory leak somewhere in FarmSim where subsequent loading the game over and over and over and over takes longer each time. And if I looked at my processes, I have like a random Windows garbage collection process right now, probably running at like 30 or 40% of my CPU. So that's why it keeps taking longer and longer. It's whatever. I'm sure they'll fix it eventually. Welcome in, Wrangle. Why do I say Wangle? Wranglerosaurus Rex. Welcome in. Thank you for dropping in and saying hi. I greatly appreciate that. Feel free to watch the replay later and teach yourself how to make a placeable. Start. All right, so now laundry basket we're standing on, right? Still works as a trigger. I want to place down another one. So I'm coming here, construction, come over here a little bit. And now I want to place it down again. So it's not going to be in, because before it was in decoration, right? It was here in decoration, all the way at the bottom. It's not there anymore because we moved it. Where do we put it? We put it in houses. So it's going to be in farmhouses now. It's kind of a weird farmhouse, but that's fine. No spawn node defined for farmhouse. Okay, we can fix that. But We'll fix that in a minute. But now, while we have this open, if you look up at the top in the top left of the screen, it says customize. So if I hit F to customize, now it says solar panel, which is kind of dumb. Basket 1, basket 2, basket 3. So now see how it's physically changing? Like, can I zoom in? I can't because it's so small. It's physically changing how it looks. Come on, get away, errors. We'll fix that error. Don't worry about it. Try it again. I want to see this without the error on the screen. Can I do that? So now we come in here. We hit F. We switch to basket 1. And so now we see we have the round basket. We switch to basket 2. Now it's a square basket. No, I didn't make it. I stole it. It's from right over here. Wranglosaurus Rex. See that laundry basket right there? Right by the clothing trigger? I wanted to make it a placeable, so that's what we're doing today. And then if we escape, we can actually place this down and... Whoops. Keep hitting tab. Sorry about that. Now we have 2 clothing triggers. And we have a clothing trigger laundry basket, which is pretty freaking cool. Which means we can customize it. Yep. And unfortunately, so Eric, I've actually submitted a trouble ticket to Giants already and asked them to add design configurations to placeables. Placeables, every placeable should support at least one, if not multiple, design configurations so that you can have individual like one placeable for like 5 or 6 different look or feels. If I want to have a farmhouse that has like one has clapboard, one has rock, one has stone, one has it's made out of steel, whatever, I don't care. Then I should have a design configuration to let the user pick it, not just colors. Colors is super limited. Totally an oversight. All right, so now it's a placeable laundry basket. We can change which style it is. Let's fix the other things. Number 1, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try to do it live. It's actually not going to work. So number 1, we're getting this error. Let's get rid of this error. Goodbye. Error's gone. I'm just kidding. The error is because if we look at Farmhouse 01, this is going back to our other thing. Farmhouse 01 has a spawn point, right? So we're going to copy this, copy. And our laundry basket, because we're calling it a farmhouse, there is no separate type for a wardrobe. We're going to need a spawn point. So now we need a spawn point, which is cool. Let's make a spawn point. Super easy. Spawn point. Copy paste, blah, 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 blah. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in here to the model. And in the wardrobe, we're going to, or actually not in the wardrobe, we're going to just put it at the end. Create transform group. Move up into laundry basket. Call it spawn point. And that's it. I'm actually going to move it a little bit away from the laundry basket so that you can kind of be facing it. And then I'm going to rotate it around so the blue arrow is facing it. So now the blue arrow is facing the laundry basket and it's standing about a half a meter away. So when if I teleport to my farmhouse, it'll put me right there. This spawn point is 04. Copy this here. Put this here. This. Save. Okay, that's one error that we fixed. Good job. The other thing is that this is called solar panels. We don't want it to be called solar panels. We want it to be called equals basket style. Boom. Save. Update our mod disk to 0.5. And then go back into the game. Thank you so much for coming in, Rex, and we'll catch you next time. And now we wait for another half hour for the game to load. All right. Let's load back into our laundry basket save. Start. And then we're going to do what Farmer Brian wanted to do. So this is, so again, Farmer Brian, this is the exact same process. I'm showing it initially with a very, very simple thing, actually, which is something I'm going to include. So this laundry basket isn't going away. I will release this to ModHub as part of a pack of placeable objects. So we're not wasting our time here. We're actually going to have something that's going to go to ModHub. All right. So now we have our laundry basket. We didn't save the second laundry basket, but if we come in here, whoops. Go into our place. Can't even go in the right menu. Gosh. Who gave him keys to the thing? Farmhouses. Placeable laundry basket. See? No error. No error. Click. There. If I want to place another one, but I want it to be a different style, I hit F. And we have basket 1. Escape. Place. Hit F. Basket 2. Now see how it says basket style up here? Escape, place. Now we have 3 different laundry basket styles, and your laundry basket is your wardrobe trigger. Pretty cool. Each one is its own wardrobe trigger. It all works. Pretty freaking cool, right? Yay. Now, and here's the point, and this is the point of this whole video. You can take anything, and Giants allows you to do this. They might not allow it on ModHub, but they allow you to do it. You can take anything from a map and turn it into a placeable that you might want on another map. Right? Anything. So let's go to the store. Let's go to the store. And this is where this question came from. This was Farmer Brian's initial question. Is I have this store. Axel's Tractor Center. Could I make Axel's Tractor Center a placeable that I can put on another map? Let's say I want to do like a roleplay thing on New Horizons or New Frontier. And Brian wants this thing to be on that other map as a placeable. Let's do it. That seems interesting. We're going to do the exact same process that we just did. But we're going to do it for this thing. Okay, so let's exit out. First of all, let's come in here. It can be right in here. That's fine. We're going to use the same thing. We're going to do this. River Bend Dealer. Save. Let's go into our data directory. Map US. What do I need? I need a workshop. Actually, so first of all, how does a dealer work? How does it work? Does anyone know? I know. I'll show you. On a map, when you have a map, let's go to map US. On a map, there are things that get placed. So when the map starts up, it places some things by default. That's controlled through this file. So in map, whatever the map is, in the base game, it's different for mod maps, but it's a similar idea. Config, placeables. So I open placeables. This is what defines the map, tells the map how to place stuff ahead of time. So if I come in here and I look for store, no, vehicle dealer. So see how it says placeable is pre-placed true, unique ID, pre-placed selling station vehicles, right? And then it's using a custom image for the thumbnail. Cool. We need to find this selling station vehicles. How do I find it? Well, I don't know. I'm just going to look. I'm just going to search for something that says selling station vehicles. That's listed in this placeables file that we're in now. It's listed in the store items, which is we don't need either of those. What we want is this one right here. This is the selling station vehicles. That's the one for EU. This one's EU, AS, US. So this right here is the selling station vehicles. That's what we want. So what are we going to do? We're going to do the same thing we did before. Say file, save as, pick our directory, go back to our directory, live modding, placeable decoration, selling station vehicles, save, done. Now it's ours. Now we can call it Brian's Automotive. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Because it's now ours, we can call it whatever we want. Let's look at this and see what it has in it. So it doesn't have a thumbnail because they're customizing it automatically. So we're going to have to create our own thumbnail. It has a file name, selling station vehicles. We might need that, so we're going to have to look at it. And then it has the player trigger marker for the wrench, which is the workshop. And then it has warning stripes. But oh wait, where's the icon for the dealership? Where's that? It turns out that's actually not here. It's in the map itself. And it's going to be, and this took me a while to find the first time, but we can show you now. So I'm going to explore. We're going to go to not placeables, not vehicles, not foliage, effects. God, I have a lot of folders open. Maps. Map you. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm going to map us.xml. And this is where it used to be. I don't know if it's still here, but it used to be here. There was like a one-line thing that says where the positioning of the store was. Apparently it's not here anymore. Well, I don't know where it is now. There was like a one thing that configured. Maybe it's in the store items. Nope. I don't know where that icon is. Well, let's look at the file at least. We don't need our laundry basket. We're done with that. Save, yes. Let's open selling station vehicles. Now, where is selling station vehicles? So data, placeables, map US. I'm guessing something like this. Didn't I search for it a minute ago? Selling points. There it is. Selling station vehicles. We're going to open up selling station vehicles.i3d. This is the one for this map. We're just going to open it up, see what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like. We're going to see. I have a feeling that it's going to not be what we want or what we expect. So if we look, what is this? It's nothing. There's nothing here. Why is there nothing here? I'll explain in a minute, but there's the vehicle trigger. When we click on it, this is when you drive in. This is the area where you can get your stuff fixed. We have the warning stripes that mark the vehicle trigger location. That's good. We have a player interaction trigger, which is the workshop marker. And then the workshop marker also has a player trigger marker. I'm not sure why there's two, but there is. Whatever. The hotspot node, collision node, and there's a collision on the ground, which is a tip collision. Okay, cool. We need that. File, save as. This is selling state i3d. Done. Now we have our own selling station vehicles. This is ours now. We can do whatever we want to it. But it doesn't have the building. I want the building too, dang it. How do I get the building? Well, we talked about that already. We already did that once. We go into data. We go into maps, map US, then open the map. The way that a lot of stuff works, specifically for Giants maps. Now, this is not the case for other maps, because a lot of other maps build things not into the map, but build them as placeables. That are like they're using a building from somebody else's map pack or whatever. So a lot of maps are not built with everything already on the map. they're built where if you look at the map is kind of empty and you're like, well, it doesn't look that great. And that's just a different way of building maps. And I think a lot of us are still learning how to build maps in FS25. But if we come over here and go to the find the vehicle dealer, which is I think right here. As we get closer, Shazam. All right, so what do we need? We need a bunch of stuff. We're going to click on this. Now, vehicle trader cluster. If you look, it includes a whole bunch of stuff. It includes lines in the ground. It includes fences. It includes all kinds of stuff. But if I just look at the vehicle trader place, it only includes the building and this other building. And those are really the only things I want. I might try to get these lines that are here. Those look kind of cool. Like, I would be nice to have those also. But at a high level, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to get this one. Now, this is the vehicle trader and the vehicle trader props. It does include the props. We want to make sure that that happens. So I'm going to come here. We're going to place. We're going to go File, Export, just like we did before. Vehicle trader, which is totally a weird name, but that's fine. I'm going to go with it. Done. Now I have exported the vehicle trader. Now the other thing to look at is over here in map. If we zoom in a little bit, show you something. Look at the icon. The icon is just sitting there. It's just sitting there. Now there is in the map itself. Again, listen to what I'm saying, please. In the map itself, the vehicle trigger is part of the map. Not a placeable, it's part of the map. Let me say that one more time. The vehicle trigger is part of a map, not a placeable. You can't place a vehicle trigger. I mean, we could try if you want. But it's not going to work because you have to not only have the trigger, which is the icon, but you have to have spawn places where it spawns. And if you look at this map to understand how a vehicle trader works, see how it says spawn place 1 start? And oh look, think about it when you play the game. This is where the first vehicle starts and spawns, and then the last vehicle in the row will spawn down here. And this one has 2 rows, so it can spawn lots of vehicles. And then the second row is here. So they have this huge parking lot here to spawn all these vehicles. But that's specific to the map, not specific to a placeable. You can't place down a vehicle trigger. It doesn't work. There's no functionality for it. But you can place down the visual of a vehicle trigger and do what you want with it. And we're going to mess around with that a little bit, and I'll show you how. So we don't need this file anymore. We're going to exit out. No, we're not going to save. We never save base game stuff. That's not good. Moving fast in GE is based off of... So it's a good question, Brian, and I'm happy to answer it. So there's multiple ways of moving in GE. You can either like hit your scroll wheel and just watch how I move. See how it's moving like this? And you're like to zoom in and zoom out with your scroll wheel on your mouse. That's the scroll wheel. If you hold down your right mouse button, you see how it gets into this movement mode where you're moving like this? Right? That's right mouse button. Now, while you're doing right mouse button, you press the W key, the like WASD, like you're moving in the game. See how I'm like sidestepping and walking around a circle while moving the mouse at the same time? That's WASD. That's how I move around fast in GE. So when I'm not using one of these tools, it only works when you're not using one of these tools. You move around like this. Now, when you're using a tool, there's a different way of doing it. You have to hold down the Alt key and do it. That's different, but that's just how it works. Anyways, this is our selling station vehicles. We're going to import the shop. So we want to import the vehicle trader, which is what the game calls it. And now we have this big honk of stuff, which is kind of lame because it's just gigantic. I don't want that. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit Control G, which creates a group. I'm going to call this visual. Visuals. I'm going to move the visuals up and to be at the end of the line so I don't have to renumber anything or rename anything. And now I have visuals. And the vehicle trader place. The vehicle dealer has two pieces. The vehicle dealer thing and the office. Personally, I think it would be super cool to have those both be placeable. So we can use our solar panel configuration. We can either have them be separate placeables, or we can have them be the same placeable with a solar panel configuration. Personally, I think this right here, this building just by itself would be cool. Like, I either want this building or this building, but I don't want this together because they're kind of annoying, right? Barrels. So the office, I'm going to move the office. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it up here to visuals. What that's going to do is it's going to put it in its own group, off on its own. And now I can move this here. But you see when I moved it, all of like the decorations don't move with it. Problem is that a bunch of the decorations are here in these other things. Right? Seasons decals, LOD. It's just barrels. Oh, interior. So we need to move some stuff around to make sure it's properly nested. So this is the office. The garage is the moving this here. We're gonna put that there, so those move together. All of the barrels, I believe, are part of this other thing, so we're gonna move those over here. Now, when I take the office and I move it, it now moves everything all together. And I just had to kind of do a little research and clicking on stuff and move stuff around so that I could get that to be where we want. So for now, I'm going to work on just the workshop, not the big building. Oh, there's one more thing we didn't move. So undo, undo. We forgot one thing, is the collisions. And the collision one is the collision for the office. So we want this over here so that now when I move it, it contains its own collision. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to hide this one for now. I don't want to look at it. It's too big for me. Okay. So let's look at what we have. Right? We have the office. Let's zoom in quick and look. So we have a front door and a back door. We can have either one of those doors be the trigger. It doesn't matter. We could have them both be the trigger for that matter. Let's do them both being the trigger. That seems fun. So right now we're only doing the office one. We're going to move stuff around. So vehicle trigger, warning stripes. I'm going to group those together because I want them to move together. Vehicle trigger. And I'll update everything to match. Okay. So I'm going to move the office to 0, 0, 0. Right? Nice and centered. I like things centered. Vehicle trigger is now inside the office. I don't know if those doors open or not, but I'm assuming they don't because Giants doesn't like to open doors. I'm going to rotate this thing 90 degrees. 90. And I'm going to move this over here. And so I've now, this vehicle trigger is... It's kind of lame that it's not in front of all the doors, right? That's kind of lame, don't you think? And also, my office is not centered. Let's center the office on the actual square that it should be centered on. So we want the office centered on the grid, not off to the side. I did a pretty good job of like just guessing. It was pretty close. All right, so let's make the whole trigger inside of it's on the side of the building all one trigger, right? So we have this. Whoops, undo, vehicle trigger. We want it to be bigger, so I'm going to center it. I'm going to come in here to the warning stripes, which are, this is not the right way to do this, but for now, we can just do it. I'm just going to make them wider. As you can see, it stretches the warning stripes. There's a way to do this. It doesn't do that. For now, I'm just going to leave it. I don't care that much. And then the vehicle trigger itself, I'm going to make the vehicle trigger bigger. Right? So warning stripes got bigger by twice as big, 2. Enter. Vehicle trigger bigger by 2. Enter. And so now my vehicle trigger is bigger. And I want one of both doors. Copy, paste. And then here. There. Call one vehicle trigger 1. Vehicle trigger 2. And then vehicle trigger 2. We're going to move over to the other side. So let's go put it over here in the right place. We're going to make the trigger right here in front of the doors. Sweet. We're going to need another player interaction trigger. So copy, paste. We're going to move 1 with this trigger. So it's relative to the trigger. Move this one relative to this trigger. And so now when I move this, I'm just going to put it in the middle. Along the wall, right? That seems about right. Good enough for me. This one is for this trigger, not that one. So we're going to move this over here. Move that right there, because we don't want it to be in front of a barrel. That's kind of silly. So we're going to have it not be in front of a barrel. All right. So now we kind of have a placeable. We have this Modding Workshop placeable. Cool, right? It's pretty much what we were looking for. But we've moved a ton of stuff. We've rebuilt this whole thing. Now we have to get the code to reference that. So if we have our solid station vehicle, so Brian's Modding Workshop. Done. Then we're going to go through here. I3D, save. Make sure we save this. I don't know if we did. Save. And then we have to update all of this stuff. So we have double the stuff. So warning stripes 02, warning players marker 1, player marker 2. We need all of these things. And then we have this. Copy paste, warning stripes 02, 1, 2, 1, 2. We need 1 and 2 of everything. And let's actually put them next to each other, because that makes it easier to see. If you have spaces in here, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Warning stripes, vehicle trigger. I don't think I need this. Maybe I do. Oh yeah, I do. We need multiple workshop markers. Workshop marker. I should do 02 for all of them. Just whoops. 01. 01. And workshop marker. 02. Perfect. I don't think we need this one. Oops. Wrong button. So now we have to make sure these nodes here match the nodes here. So if I click on warning stripes 01, I should rename them while I'm here. Make sure I don't confuse myself. 2. Vehicle trigger 02. Player interaction trigger 02. Whoops. Help if I could actually type properly. The other ones are 1. So vehicle trigger 2 is here, and it is at 0, 1. So if we come over here, vehicle trigger 02 is at 0, 1. The other one's at 0, 0. Perfect. Warning stripes 01 is at 0, 0, 0. So warning stripes 01 is now at this node because I put them inside of each other. Player interaction trigger is 0, 0, 2. Yada yada. And then the other one that's needed is the workshop marker and a player trigger marker. I don't know why there's both of those. Seems silly to me. But we're going to keep them just in case there's a real reason for them. Usually Giants has a reason. Sometimes it's not a very good reason. 1. Okay. So workshop and then the player trigger marker's inside the workshop marker, which doesn't make sense to me. Save. Copy. Paste. And then these are going to follow the exact same pattern. So I don't have to go back and forth. I just do, this is at 0. This is 1. 2. This is it. And we'll go into the game and test it in just a second. Save. Then player interaction trigger 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 0. 1. Save. Okay. So we have 5 of them. We have 1 of each basically. So we have to make sure everything there was 1 of, now there's 2 of. So warning stripes 01, player trigger marker 02, 2, 01, 02, right? The tip occlusion, we'll figure that later. Player interaction trigger. Now here's the problem, I think, is you're not going to be able to have multiple. It looks like it's set up so that you can't have multiple. Maybe it'll. Can I just do this? I don't know. Let's find out if this works. I don't think it works, but I can. We'll figure it out. So workshop marker 01, workshop marker 02, vehicle trigger 01, vehicle trigger 02, own workshop false. No. Oh, because we're making a vehicle workshop. Okay. Own workshop is if it's your own, which means you can't do painting. But if you don't own it, if it's not your own workshop, then you can do painting. So since we're making a placeable vehicle workshop, you don't necessarily have to own it, but we can leave that alone. But this one calls out that we need another vehicle trigger. Did we get another vehicle trigger? Let me make sure. Yes, we did. Perfect. All right, so let's go back to the icon generator and go into here, select folder. We don't have it in our thing here. Riverbend dealer is not what it's called. It's selling station HIC vehicles. Go back to our icon generator and refresh it a little bit. Oh. Store. Whatever. Rename, copy, just to make sure I'm getting the file name right. Good. Now we want to refresh it real quick, and hopefully it's going to show up. Now it is. Marion's Motorworks Workshop. We're going to generate not a mod icon, which is the store icon for that one, because we already have a mod icon. And now we have an image for our store MotorX, and see it creates a thumbnail before us, which is what we wanted. We're going to bump the version 6, save, launch the game, and everything's going to work. Just kidding, it never works. That's the thing with modding, is that you have to be willing to try and fail and keep trying. So You try something, see if it works. If it doesn't, try again. We tried to create double triggers for a workshop. I don't even know if that's possible. I've never done that. I'm guessing, I'm hoping, it might not work. It might only support one. Who cares? It's not like the end of the world. We'll just adjust as we go, right? So you have to be willing to just try something, load it into the game, see if it works, see if there's an error. If there's no error, move on. That's it. Hey, Jess, welcome in. And Jake, welcome in. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was joking the other day, and I was mentioning this in my Discord, but like, I've probably launched the game 500 to 1,000 times since it was released. Literally that many. I mean, even on this stream alone, I've launched the game, what, 10 times at least, just in the stream alone. All right, so we have our custom wardrobe trigger. Jess, this is what you missed. We turned this laundry basket into a placeable wardrobe trigger. Isn't that fancy? Now, we're going to go ahead and just place a vehicle dealer in the middle of a field. So construction. Where is it actually located? I don't even remember where it is. Placeable misc. Okay. So does that mean decoration? I don't know where placeable's misc is. It's not in farmhouses. Is it here? It's not in decoration. Others. So we made something that doesn't exist. I don't think placeable's misc has like a category. So it should go in tools. So this is the vehicle workshop that already exists in the game. It should go in the same category. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit out right here. I'm not gonna exit out of the game. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna go into my data directory. Data. Placeables. Map US. What's it called? I don't remember. Here. Find. Workshop. Selling station vehicles. Workshops. Garage big service. This is the one I want. Placeable sheds. No. Big storage service. I don't want placeable shed. I want... What's that thing called? Here it is. This is what I wanted. This brush. Because I'm just copying what's already there. I don't have a brush now. We don't need this. Save. Come back in here. GS. Store. Items. Reload. Now, hopefully, it's going to show up. If it's not, we're going to have to exit out of the game again. That's fine. Just keep doing that over and over until the end of the world. Yeah, it's not showing up, so we're going to have to exit out. I'm not going to save. I'm just going to quit. Farmer Brian, you talking about here in VS Code like this? So this is VS Code. This is my code editor. And all I'm doing is essentially I'm basically doing this, right click, find in folder. See how it says Shift Alt F? That's like a key command that I use all the time. So if you do Shift Alt F, it does searching in this specific folder. If you do Control Shift F, it just opens a global search. So the one I'm always opening is Control Shift F because it gives me this, and I can do this. I can say, I want this. I'm going to do a find replace if I want, or I can search for specific files. So this window here, I'm searching and I'm only looking at XML files. I don't want to look at the rest of the files. I just want to look at XML files. It's part of VS Code. It's just an internal feature. But that's just how I search. That's just the quickest way to find certain things. Anyways, we were talking about here. We changed the location in the store. Show in store. The other reason it wasn't there is we want this to be true. True. So it says show in store false. So if you're copying like something base game that's built into a map, a lot of times it'll say show in store false. And the reason why it didn't show up in the store at all is because it was set to false. It's told not to show up in the store. Which, by the way, is how the mods only thing works. Is I just set it all to false. Let's go back into the game. Oh. So we're going to launch back in the game, and hopefully it's going to be there. And we can prove once and for all whether or not you can have 2 vehicle triggers for 1 dealership. I don't think you can. But we're going to try it out. Hey David, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Commodity shed to the point it's in game. Nice. Good job, Jake. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Eric, I haven't really played. I think I have a total of maybe 10 hours playing, and that's only because I've been live streaming. I haven't really been playing it all outside of live streams. Construction. We want tools. Here's our MotorX workshop. Now let's just see what it says here. It says the tip occlusion thing is missing. We're missing a trigger marker node. And we're missing a collision bit mask for vehicle trigger 1. But we have our vehicle trigger right here. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? Let's place it in the middle of the field. Okay. So we do have some errors. But the idea, the general idea, is sound. And it's possible. And we have our MotorX dealer. Now, here's one thing that's interesting. Everything's kind of floating. And that's because this building is designed to work on a hill. And when we brought it in, we zeroed it out. And when we zeroed it out, that means that it's actually too high up. So if we come over here to this, we actually want to do this. Take the whole thing and move it down. So I'm going to come here. We basically want the grid to be at the barrels, right? We want it to be like that, right? Save. Eric, do you remember what the command is to reload all the i3D files? I forget. I always forget. i3D cache clean. Yeah. I'm missing EDC, and I use EDC all the time to like reload placeables. The other thing this building is missing is when I placed it down on this field, it didn't like clean the field. And the reason for that is because this was never meant to be placed down. See how it's missing some stuff? It's missing level areas and clear areas and all of those other fancy things. This is like the default like system base game selling station, which is designed not to change the ground, but we want it to change the ground. So what we're going to do is we found the workshop. Where's the workshop? Brandless workshop. Okay. So we're going to do, if we want those things, so we're just going to import it from something else that we know works. So we're going to go data, placeables, brandless, workshop. Workshop. We're just going to import the entire workshop into here, right? But really what we want is we want these things. Yeah, so I want that. And then I want to... What did I just do? Paste. Nope. I want it to be right here. Nope. Let's try again. I didn't move those things very, very effectively. That was pretty bad. I want it to be right here. Done. All right, so this is... I don't need two of these. And now that I've got what I need out of the workshop, just delete it. So that's the other way to get something from one thing, object, to another, is just import the whole object, pull off what you need, and delete it. Or you can export and then re-import. Those are the two ways to bring something from one model to another. But basically, we have clear areas. And if we talked about this before when we were talking about the laundry basket. Oh. Is when we clear is so what these things mean. Clear is it clears the ground around it. So it clears the area around it. So let's say our clear area is going to be pretty far out, actually. We're going to go here because it has to include the trigger area. So we're going to come out to here. Clear area width. We're going to make it the length of the building. Clear area height. We're going to make it the length of everything. Now, if we wanted, we could have it not be the whole length of everything. We could just do one side, make two of them if we wanted to. That's totally fine too. Either one works, doesn't matter. Level areas. Level areas is going to be the same. I personally like my clear areas and level areas to be the same and to be nice round numbers. So I'm going to do this. Copy. Paste. Clear area width 32. Level area width 32. Height 31. Height 31. That makes sense. Indoor areas that prevents snow. So that where's the indoor part of this building? Well, the indoor part of this building is right here. From there to over here. And if you notice when I'm like dragging these areas around, like right here, it looks like it's perfect. But if I zoom in, it's totally not perfect. And so how accurate these are in three-dimensional space is sometimes not as accurate as you think. So it always makes sense to zoom in when you're placing these things to make it as accurate as you want it to be. It's not accurate as possible. It's as accurate as you want it to be. And then indoor height is there, which means this one is not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be on the other side. So it's supposed to be over here. And it's probably not supposed to be there. It's probably supposed to be here. It's there. Perfect. It's 32 exactly. They made their building nice and square. Let's make sure this one's set up right. Yoink. It's pretty good. And then we'll fix the start one again. Out a little bit. Again, the more you zoom in, the more accurate your things are. Test areas is going to be kind of the same. Hey, where am I worried that something might conflict with this building? Obviously, it's going to be here to here. Test areas only have a start and an end. They don't have... Actually, this is wrong. I shouldn't have moved that. 0, 0, 0. Test area start should be back here. It might conflict with something like that. And test area end is going to be over there. There. I'm just being very general. Tip occlusion, don't care because it's a store, doesn't matter. Save. It has a collision, which is the pad, but this building has a collision. So this collision that's there is really just, doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Hit save, and then GS store. Reload store items, and I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's go in here, construction. Sell. Yep, whatever. It was only $1. I don't care. Place it again. Yeah, and so it's not getting the changes we fixed. So we're gonna have to quit out and go back in. What were those errors? Sometimes I like to listen to music and have it play the same song over and over. And then if you want to ever look at your logs while you're out of the game, just go to your log file. It's log.txt inside of your game directory. So these errors that we found, like it doesn't know where 05000 is. So in our code, what that means, here, find 0500. So the tip occlusion areas, these are now the wrong nodes. They don't exist anymore. So we need to update what those nodes should be based off of how we move stuff around. So like tip occlusion update areas is now 08. Right? So these are going to be 08 instead of 05, which, you know, that's the way it should be. And then we also have to create clear areas and leveling areas and indoor areas. I don't like having to write all of that stuff myself because, well, that takes time and effort, and I don't have time or effort. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. And then I'm going to go back to the workshop. Come over here to these things, clear area, level area, blah, 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 blah. Copy. Where did I put it? Roughly here, I think. And then clear area start 01, we'll just find that one and fix it all. So clear area start 01 is a 040. Good. So not that one, this one. That one. This is 5, and then this one is 6. TD paste 6. Done. So now I have clear areas, level areas, indoor areas, all of that stuff. This one was updated to be correct. Hotspot node. Do we have a hotspot node? I think we did, right? Hotspot node is still 02 now, and the teleport node is 03. So these were off 2. 2, 3, save. And hopefully, whoops. Let's increment our mod desk just to be safe. We don't really need to do that, but I like to be safe. And then, hopefully, we have made our own Modding Ep dealership. Whether it works or not is totally, we'll figure it out. We'll test it once. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think the game supports double vehicle triggers on the same workshop, but I don't know. We could fix that by making one trigger instead of 2 triggers. So if for whatever reason it doesn't work, we can fix it. But then the little icon that you have to click on is going to be kind of funky. So we might be able to fake it, and I'll show you how. Maybe. So if for whatever reason the double trigger thing doesn't work, we can turn it so it looks like there's 2 triggers, but there's really only one. That's relatively easy. I'll show you how to do that. Yep, the music's starting to skip, which means my computer is about to kill itself. Construction, tools, Modding Ep dealership. Still has a couple things. Looks like there's a collision of some kind. The vehicle trigger. Now, look what we did. Ooh, see? So all that stuff we just did, the clear areas, the level areas, all that stuff, actually worked really well. because now, as you can see, we flattened this field. I'm walking into something and stuck. There's like a collision of some kind that I can't see. I think it's the other dealership. But as you can see, the trigger's there. Hold on. Yeah, I'm walking into the other dealership. The other dealership's still there, like not there, but not there. So its triggers are still broken. But actually, if you look here, there's no icon. This icon's missing. All right. And actually, we did pretty good. Look at this. We got almost perfect for flattening it down to the ground. This looks fantastic. Okay, one more change. Come on. Okay. So 01012 0120 player trigger marker 01. That's what what we're getting the error for. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to do visuals, and we're just going to delete the vehicle trigger. We can always get it again. We don't need it because we're not using it. And let's double check our vehicle triggers to make sure our I think this should work now. Yeah, there we go. So I think that's going to work. We just want to do 2 small changes. Whenever possible, when you're modding, this is just a cautionary tale. Make small changes. Don't make big changes. Make things that you can undo. The reason I leave stuff open, I leave a Giants editor open, is so that if I realize something goes wrong, I can click undo. Or if I leave my code editor open, I can just click undo. If something doesn't work, I just hit undo a couple times, and it goes back to where it was. Undo inside Giants editor is a little bit of a finicky thing. It doesn't always work. Most of the time it works, but not always. So just be wary of that. Hitting undo in Giants editor can sometimes do things that you don't expect it to do. They built their own editor. It's not that great. It's workable. Career. Go back into our laundry basket, which is no longer just a laundry basket. If we wanted to make it so that our laundry basket mod isn't a laundry basket mod, that it's a workshop dealer, I'm just going to copy and paste the whole mod, rename some stuff, and then we'll have 2 mods instead of 1. Which is whatever, it doesn't matter. It's however you want to do it. So Giants likes packs. That's how they like people to release stuff. But if you wanted to release just this dealership, if for whatever reason they would let you, which they probably won't, because it's theirs, but like this, here's the dealership. I'm going to put it in an angle just so you can see how the clear and level areas work. I love how I'm running in the game right now, but I'm not actually moving fast, which is just the dumbest thing ever. I don't understand why the game doesn't do that. So there's some stuff we could fix. Like, see how the level area goes right to the door, edge of the building, but doesn't go out front at all. So walking in the front door is not really something you can do. And then this thing, the sticker, the warning stripe, kind of goes to the edge, but doesn't go past the edge. So I would actually make the pavement wider. Slightly. Same here. I'd actually make the level and dirt, the concrete area, move out a little bit further. But we have triggers. No vehicle available. I go into that trigger. Let's go into the second one. Or is that the second one? I don't remember which one's the second one. I think that one's the second one. Okay, so here we go. Here's our problem. See how when I go to this trigger, nothing happens? I think what the case is, and let's get a tractor and find out. I would bet money that a workshop only supports 1 trigger. We tried to make it do 2. It's not going to do 2. But we can kind of fake it. And I'll show you how to do that. So if I come here, I move into this trigger, right? And I come over here to this icon, nothing happens. So it's not going to let me do 2 triggers. but I wanted to do 2 triggers. I really wanted to have a double trigger. How would you do that? Think about it. How can I take 2 triggers and make them into 1? It's kind of an obvious answer, but here, I come over here, and I go to the vehicle dealer trigger. No vehicles available. It's not seeing these, right? Bring back the laundry basket. No. So how do I do that? I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we have warning stripes. And we have warning stripes. We have the interaction trigger thing that is the visual. And we have the visual. So we basically were saying we can only have one of these. We can't have both. It's saying, no, you can't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy that, paste, put it inside here, and then I'm going to make 2 icons, make them opposite each other. Whoops, undo. Now this barrel is going to be in the way, so I'm going to have to move the dang barrel. That's fine. So I'll put the other one there. Where's this barrel? Look at that, I picked the right barrel, the correct barrel the very first time. That's amazing. Now if I do the player interaction trigger, now okay, this is the trigger that defines how wide the area is for that player interaction. Well, if I just make this go across the shop, right? Make it bigger, boop, and then go like this, boop, and then boop. Now it sticks out on this side. Hopefully it sticks out on this side. So if you walk into anything anywhere in that zone, you're going to be in the interaction trigger. Now, all it cares about is the trigger. The marker has no effect whatsoever. So this is now the trigger zone. I can't get to the middle of the building. It's not open, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to do the same thing with the vehicle trigger itself. So we're going to go like this. We're going to make it bigger. Like this, yoink. This. We're going to make this like that. Something along those lines. Again, we'd have to tweak it to make sure it's perfect, but that looks pretty good. Right? So now it's like a whole, like the whole thing is a vehicle trigger. This one isn't being used. We're not used. Not used. So we need this. We need the node for this. Just that. We come back to our code, edit it real quick, and fix it. So player trigger marker 2 there. We don't need that. And then we don't need any of this stuff. Right? This is your dealer trigger. We only need one. We only need player trigger 1, workshop marker 1. And then for the markers, we still need the warning stripes. We still need the player markers. Those are all needed still. And we haven't moved anything. We're just basically turning it into 1. And then we're going to quit and reload because it's going to take to reload the model. We'll do it last time, and then I'm going to have to go. Bring back the laundry basket. Don't worry, Jess, that's going to be part of the Vagabond pack. So that laundry basket we built at the beginning of the stream, which you can go back and watch because you weren't here for that, is going to be part of the Vagabond pack, which I'm hoping to submit soon-ish. But it's not high priority. And I'm totally going to have to restart my computer when this is done, because my computer is running like right now. And if we're lucky, everything's going to work. I don't think it's going to. I think we're still getting an error. Actually, hold on. Let me look at that error real quick. I missed the error. I think there's a problem with the vehicle trigger. I think it's missing a node or something. This one, I think, is the wrong... It says vehicle trigger. It says it's... Whatever. Really? Heard that song already. Okay, last one. Last time. Hopefully everything works. Hopefully. Start. Place. Construction. And technically, I think we have a zoom point. Tools. Workshop. Yeah, it still says there's a trigger marker too. What? I don't understand that. Vehicle trigger 1 is not a physics trigger? Hold on, that might actually be critical. What? Vehicle trigger 1. So saying vehicle trigger 1 is not a physics node, which means I probably just pointed to the wrong thing. Vehicle trigger 1 is... Oh, duh. I was pointing to the wrong node. That would really help. Player trigger, workshop marker, vehicle trigger 1. So it was the wrong freaking node. I was pointing to this, not this, which was pretty silly of me. Hopefully we can reload that. So reload. Q. Hopefully it works. We're gonna find out. There's no icon. Where's the icon? My icon's not there. Driver on the other side. Is this icon here? No icons. Oh no. The icons are missing. No vehicles available either. Yeah, I'm gonna have to exit out of the game. Oh, I wanted it to work. Player trigger marker 01. Player trigger marker 01 is this. Yep, player trigger marker 01 and 02 are there. Hello? Warning stripes, so 2 might be part of the problem. Okay, save. Mod desk. 9. Hopefully that fixes it. Still says the game's running though. Come on, game, quit. I already quit you. You're not running. Stop. Yeah, my computer is like ready to go. I can't even stop the game. And if we look, my CPU's at 100%. Like, that's not supposed to happen. And it's this stupid thing. And it's all because of the way Giant's engine works, and it leaks memory and all of this stuff. Desktop window manager shouldn't be running at 1.5 megs. That's ridiculous. And it's because GE leaks hard. Come on. Exit the damn game. All right, well, that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to have to reboot my computer, which is going to take time, and we don't have time. I want to say thank you for everyone for being here. I'm sorry to end on kind of a low note. We did get the vehicle workshop working. It looks cool. We got our laundry basket working. I'm super happy about that. That's going to be part of the Vagabond Sleep Trigger pack, which I'm still working on and hoping to put to Mod Hub in the next couple weeks. It doesn't really matter because they're all going on vacation in a couple days, so whatever. By the time Giants gets back from vacation, I'm going to have like 9 mods waiting. It's going to be great. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with me while we learned live how to do this. Again, I don't know how to do these things. I'm not knowledgeable of everything, but I am a problem solver, so I know how to look for the answers. And I'm trying to teach you guys as you watch how I find those answers, what I do to figure things out, what I do to try things out, so that you can then do the same idea and the same task and the same way of looking at it and make your own mods. You might not want to do a sleep trigger. Who cares? You might want to have a placeable farmhouse. Okay, how are you going to do that? Follow the same ideas and do it. You might want to make your own cultivator. You might want to just change the colors of the cultivator. Follow my video on how to do that. But it's not necessarily exactly what I do. It's taking the idea and taking that thought process and applying it to your own task and trying it out and be willing to fail. That's the key. If there's anything you leave here today is you're going to fail. You watched me do it dozens of times. For the matter, my computer is completely just forked right now. I'm going to have to restart it. But you have to be willing to try, keep trying, and keep trying, and eventually it'll work. I'm sure if we restarted the game... Oh, look, finally. Only took a year. Maybe if we really start the game right now, it'll work. I doubt it. Yeah, it's just hanging. Yes? No? Are you gonna do anything? Probably not. Anyways, I'm gonna let it figure out what it's gonna do. And I'll catch everyone next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to comment down below if you like what you're doing. Let YouTube know that you like what's going on. If you watch the replay, if you're here watching the replay and you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you worked on, what you built, and what you took this idea and made your own. I'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions or want some help, join the Discord and let me know. Discord is here. There. Discord. See, Stream Elements is even acting up. Oh, Stream Elements is working much better than my computer is. Sweet. But thanks for being here. I'll catch everyone next time. That's not the right splash screen again. I can't get this right, can I? There it is. Nope. Nope. There. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.